Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn Dave and David Dollar.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Dave.
It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast. Welcome back to the Main Street Electrical Podcast, number 116. 116 straight weeks of Jenn and Dave being in your inbox, although Jen's been there for most of it. I think I missed one because I was in the hospital, and you missed a couple because you were into the country or on a cruise or in a cruise and into the country or whatever.
Every time I think I've been traveling, it's like I've been, literally somewhere that I couldn't.
You're wandering the Aborigine desert of Australia. You're staying at the Grand Flow, sleeping at Victoria and Albert's, just whatever. I mean, you got a lot going on. Me, I had to go to the hospital, so, all good. How'd you do Disney this week, Jen?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, actually, I'm Disney currently by putting together some YouTube videos for our YouTube, the Upon a Star, YouTube channel.
We have a YouTube page? How do I find it?
You would just go to YouTube and Google Upon a Star Travel. Actually, not, just Upon a Star Travel right there. And we pop right up, and you can also link to it from our different social media places. But what's nice is we are starting to post like room tours, different things as we go there. So more and more content to come. We have some other videos up, but stay tuned for.
I like it.
That.
I like it. Very good. I'll link the YouTube page on our website, themscpodcast.com, so you can go there and also click on the YouTube page. Although, again, go to YouTube and search in the letters Upon a Star Travel, enter, and it will pop up with all the videos and stuff. And yeah, you're right. We are collecting lots of room. I love room videos. And I found that not just from me, but also for clients or even friends that are wondering, send them a picture, send them a video of the room. Be like, I know you want to stay at Coronado Springs. Here's what the room looks like.
Here you go.
See for yourself. Somebody stayed there 2 weeks ago, and this is the video they took. And room videos are great. Speaking of Coronado, of course, we will be talking about that later on this week.
Yes.
Later on this week. How about later on tonight?
How about, literally.
I mean, technically it is later on this week because it'll be further in the week than we are right now, but it's only like 20 minutes away.
But I was going to say it's not very far.
We'll get there. For me, Disney this week, I sort of Disney this week. I want to say I magicked this week. Of course, got my orange bird hat on, which I adore my orange bird hat because my hair is all over the place because we went to the Splash Adventure today, the little theme park we have here in Birmingham, me and the kid. This is the last time this summer we get to go because next week closed for the weekday and only open on weekends, and we do not go on the weekends. And then, of course, he starts school next week. He's going to be a fourth grader. It's insane.
Oh, my gosh.
But last week, I got to go over to Nashville, or up to Nashville, to the Universal training. We had Universal training in the area.
Yes, indeed.
And what they will do, a lot of places will send Sandals, Universal. Other places will send representatives to different bigger cities like Atlanta, Nashville, New Orleans, or whatever. Right. And you sign up and you go and they do quote-unquote training. And what I mean by like air quotes and training is that they basically just kind of do a seminar of like, this is what we have to offer. These are what our rooms look like.
Here's the updates.
It's easy stuff that I kind of already knew. There really wasn't anything I didn't know. But it was nice to have a refresher. We got to go with Agent Meredith. She and I went up there. Our agent Tortuga was supposed to go with us and wasn't able to go. So it was Meredith and I. But I brought all that up to say, I did want to mention it because this is the travel podcast. Disney mostly, but we talk travel too. Got to go to the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville.
Isn't that such a cool place?
For me, it's like the Grand Ole Opry tour. I've never done the tour before. I've seen the Grand Ole Opry, but I've never actually visited inside the Grand Ole Opry. And Meredith was all like, let's do this. Let's do something fun or whatever. And I'm like, we got to get back. And she's like, no, there was that or the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum there in the Opry Mills Mall. And I'm like, I'm not paying $40 to watch a bunch of wax figures. I don't really want to spend my money on that. And so we're like, let's do the Grand Ole Opry. Now, for me, I grew up. My grandparents raised me, and they had a radio sitting on the counter that played the country music station all day, from morning to night. They turned the radio off at night. When my grandfather would get up at 6 or 6:30 in the morning, he'd flip the radio on, and it literally stayed on all day. Even with the TV going, they would just turn the volume down. The radio stayed on all day. So I grew up on old country. I grew up on the Statler Brothers and the Forster Sisters and the Oak Ridge Boys and Conway Twitty and George Jones and Johnny Cash, all of those. So, and that actually lasted through even to the 90s into college. And, I had my fill of of country as well. My favorite artist of all time is Garth Brooks. I love the Dixie Chicks. I love Ricky Van Shelton. I love I'm trying to think of the other country artists popping in my head, but I love all of those country artists, old and new, whatever. So to walk through the Grand Ole Opry was really cool because there's memorabilia, and also, and I don't know if you remember this show, Jen, because you're quite young. I got to see the soundstage where they filmed Hee Haw.
Yeah.
Hee Haw was a staple of my childhood. Every Saturday or Sunday or whatever it came on, we would watch Hee Haw. And I got to see it. Now, really, it's just an empty state. It's an empty room right now with like a big screen, and that's it. But still, I was like, when I was 9, 8, 7 years old, they were filming Hee Haw in this room, and I was watching this being. I mean, it was really cool. Got to stand on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, that's so cool.
Now, it's something where it's $40. It's a $40 tour.
Right.
Is it overpriced? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Yes. I'm glad. I would not do it again.
I agree. I've done one before. It's worth
40,
it.
but I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
And so to stand on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry, and I know every 15 or 20 minutes another tour leaves. You got 20 people, each paying $40 a piece. They're making bank on this thing. Because really, it's like, here's some memorabilia. Here's the dressing rooms. So and so had stayed here once. Here's a story. Go to the stage, and that's it. But still, I'm like, this is awesome. This is so cool. And standing on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry, where thousands of people stood before me as they already went to the tour, where another 300 or 400 would come after me because the tour was late in the day. Still, it was cool. It was really cool. The boards creaked under my feet, and I'm like, this is where Vince Gill stood when he sang go high on that mountain. This is great. This is really, really cool. So the downside is, and I'll wrap up this part of the show, but the downside is that you get they take a picture in front of a little circle in front of a microphone, which is really cool. And obviously it's like Disney where they charge you for the picture. You're not allowed to take a picture of the picture, and they really won't let you take pictures other than the photographer. So I'm like, well, it's $25 for the picture. Do I want this? No. Am I going to get it? Absolutely. So I got the actual physical copies, and they give you a digital download. I'm like, well, this is what I want.
That's
nice. I
nice.
can post this. This is cool. The digital download was awful. If you go to my pages, you go to Instagram, on my personal Instagram, or my Facebook, and you zoom in, it is so blurry. It's a terrible picture.
That's awful.
So it's really awful for $25. So I'm going to take the physical copy and try to scan it. Make a better picture. But anyway.
There's a great app that I use for that. It's called Unfade.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to scan it into a scanner.
No, but it scans it it scans it into your phone as just a photo file.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant like it doctors like blurry pictures.
No, like, okay. No. It just because sometimes that's how I've posted some of my older photos.
Okay.
Found I'll just scan it this way because I mean I don't want to find my scanner.
We have 3 scanners and none of them are hooked up in our house. We have 3 printers and none are hooked up in our house, which is really sad. So I can't really print anything. Not that I have anything to print besides invoices and confirmations and things like that. So, but I send it all email, which is what you want. So let's talk a little bit of news. So we don't have any huge news topics to get to, but we have a lot of news to get to. A lot of little things going on here. First of all, Give Kids the World is back. Now, Give Kids the World Village, it never really went away, but now it's back at full capacity. And for those wondering what that is, it is this great program where they take families with critically ill children on an all-inclusive week-long vacation to Disney World. They give you meals, they transportation, you get tickets,
so good,
and you stay at one of the villas or whatever where they give you the World Village. So it's just really cool that they're coming back. They're at full capacity now, like they're operating fully, which is great. So I'm glad to finally see that's going on. If you're out there and you're like, you know what, it's tax time and I got some donations I want to make to try to get a little more credit on my taxes, I don't know what to do. First of all, call me and I'm happy to give you some autism charities to donate to. But if you're like, you know what, I want to do something different, Give Kids the World. It's a great place to donate to because you're helping sick children go to Disney World, which is fantastic. So so there's that. Of course, we've also got the changes that are happening on Genie Plus, which is weird when Disney does this because they put that big announcements out like change to Genie Plus, and you see the Instagrammers, they're all like, big changes happening to Genie Plus right now. Jen, what are the changes? Remind me again.
Oh, you mean the changes that aren't changes?
Right, the changes that actually aren't changing.
Yeah, so it's a change in that on August 8th, I believe it is.
The 7th, actually.
Or on the 7th. Well, sorry.
Doesn't even matter.
by the end of the day, the 7th, like the 7th, there were 5 different attractions that used to be individual lightning lanes or ILLs. And those were transitioned early this summer, late spring, early summer, to Genie Plus, ostensibly to accommodate the larger summer crowds. So things like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, things like Space Mountain. Well, Remy at the time was a virtual queue, but yeah, okay. And then I'm missing Expedition Everest. There we go.
Yes,
Everest. Yes,
Remy,
Everest. And so those were individual Lightning Lane, switched up to be regular Genie Plus. And then as of, so at the end of the day, August 7th, they were supposed to go back into the individual Lightning Lane category. That is no longer happening. They're just staying. So really nothing has changed. It's more like they're not going to put them back.
Right. The official wording has changed. And
the official wording has changed, but that's nice. You and I both, I think, predicted they were going to stay here. Yeah. We both were like, they're not going to.
Like the day after they moved this
literally
to the individual Lightning Lane attraction selection, Lightning Lane selections, or whatever we want to call it, the moment they moved them out of that into Genie Plus, like I started operating on the basis that it was going to stay there. Like and I changed my verbiage, my itineraries and everything without the intention of ever thinking I was going to change it back because it wasn't going to change. And I knew that.
Well, I mean, we were prepared just in case, but we all, in fact, starting on August 1st, I'm like, okay, we should probably be hearing an announcement soon. Like, guessing they're going to do this. And they did.
Yeah. So if you're watching out there, if you're listening to the news and you're like, oh my gosh, what is Disney doing to Genie Plus? No. Nothing. Just know that what has basically been tentative in the system is now just permanent in the system. So
and again, I think this is part of that process. What we talked about Genie Plus a few weeks ago of like the improvements. Or what we think they're trying to revamp it. And no, they are trying to revamp it. They definitely are. So I think this is just part of that process too.
Now, if you're wondering about the Magic Band Plus, of course, that's been a big deal with Genie Plus, Magic Bands and everything. We'll talk about that next week. We're going to have a special episode on the Disney Wish.
With a special guest.
With a special guest. Quasi-producer Heather is coming on, and she's going to be talking about it. And she's been using Magic Band Plus, the new Magic Bands, all weekend while she's there. And so we're going to get her feedback on it, the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, the beautiful, magical, whatever. We'll talk about that all next week, along with the fact I'm going to give you guys like an hour and let you go to town on the Wish and just talk all about it. And I'll sit back and I'll drink a cheer wine and just kind of hang out while you guys just chat about the Wish. Something that's not happening, however, Blizzard Beach. Now I know that you're not a fan of water parks, and so this is not something that hits you in the feels, but they've been closed since 2020. Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon, of course. Typhoon Lagoon did open sometime last year, which is great. However, new permits have been filed for work on the wave pool and some of the piping and some of the construction and everything. So it looks as if Disney World is taking this time and just working on Blizzard Beach as a whole, just operating everything as a whole.
Did Blizzard Beach not open for a little bit? It did open for a little bit.
Did it?
And Typhoon Lagoon remained closed.
Did it? Okay. Well, anyway, it's closed right now. So
and then it closed again. At least that is how I am remembering it. Is that Blizzard Beach reopened?
Well, if it did, well, every year on normal years, which is what we're hoping to transition to by next year, everything's just back to normal completely.
Right, hopefully.
What will happen is, as it gets colder, one park will stay open and they will close the other for refurbishment. So, Typhoon Lagoon will stay open.
That's always happened.
All through the end of the year, whereas Blizzard Beach will close like November and be closed through January. And then in January, Blizzard opens and Typhoon Lagoon closes until like May, and then they're both open in May. Well, as of right now, Blizzard Beach is still closed. And maybe that happened last year where they did the flip-flop. One was open for a bit while the other got refurbished. But Blizzard Beach hasn't opened at all. And so apparently they're just going to remain – my guess is they're going to keep it closed for the rest of the year until next spring. And probably take this time and do all they need to do.
I would agree. And I did just confirm because Disney Parks blog had put that out there that it was reopening on March 7th of 2021. Because the only reason that I really remember is I sent clients and and they were like, oh, we want to go to Typhoon Lagoon. I'm like, well, you can't. So you can go to Blizzard Beach.
Now, do you remember when it closed, or do you know when it closed?
I remember planning to send clients for earlier this summer, and they couldn't go. So I was like, oh wait, you're gonna have to go to Typhoon Lagoon. Never mind.
Well,
and so I don't know when it went down.
So, well, it's been closed and it's going to be closed the rest of the year. So let's just say that. So the Festival of the Holidays is coming to Disneyland. Let's talk about our sister park across the country. California Adventure will have a bright, shining 50-foot tall Christmas tree on Buena Vista Street and an automotive holiday embellishment in Cars Land, which Cars Land, I believe, is going to do like Luigi's Whirl, Joy to the Whirl. And Mater will be doing Mater's Jingle Jamboree, and that's basically a revamp or like overlay, Christmas overlay of their particular attractions. Also, some of the stuff that's happening over there, the World of Color Season of Light will have holiday magic by fusing cherished holiday music with memorable moments from treasured Disney animated films. So if you love World of Color, this is going to have a little tweak to it for the holiday. Energetic live entertainment includes Disney Festival of the Holidays. It will highlight a diverse selection of celebrations. Also, we'll be bringing back the fan favorite Sip and Savor Pass that will return to allow you to taste your way through 8 food or non-alcoholic beverage stations from participating marketplaces all through California Adventure. Also, you'll have the Disney Viva Navidad Street Party. That's happening with Mickey and Minnie. They'll be donning their festive fiesta attire, accompanied by Mexican folklorico dancers and mariachis. Now, I probably said that completely wrong. I did not mean to cultural appropriate anybody. So that's happening over California Adventure. Across the Esplanade Disneyland Park, we'll also have the festive holiday decor with a 60-foot tree on Main Street, USA. Sleeping Beauty's Winter Castle will return from day to night with shimmering icicles and twinkling lights. And in Town Square, you're going to see Disney characters and their finest holiday finery. And some will have all new outfits. In case you've been keeping track about the outfits they had on before, they'll have new outfits. You're going to see Anna and Elsa and Olaf. They'll be celebrating with a Disney Christmas Fantasy Parade, a daily musical procession of floats, because, you know, they have lots of parades and nighttime celebrations over at Disneyland, and we have one parade. Thanks, Disneyland. Thanks, Disney. Thanks, Bob. In the evenings, you're going to have the Believe in Holiday Magic Fireworks Spectacular. Now, of course, this is all part of their daily functioning. This is not a party. This is not a Christmas thing you have to pay extra for. They're all just giving you fireworks and parades and Christmas celebrations because they love you. They love Disneyland guests more than they love Disney World guests. So anyway, you're also going to have Small World Holiday, which will take you around the world as toys and dolls representing children enjoying the holiday traditions of their countries. Jack Skellington will cause a collision between Christmas and Halloween to transform the Haunted Mansion into Haunted Mansion Holiday. And in Downtown Disney and the hotels, you're going to have all kinds of dazzling decor and photo chances, photo opportunities, music. The Disneyland resorts will have all sorts of Santa Claus things and Christmas tree things and all kinds of stuff happening. So that's your holiday update for Disneyland. Returning, I believe, starting on November the 11th, running through January 8th, 2023. So if you're worried about it, you're not going to get there until after the first of the year. It will be there. So,
you know, I have never been to Disneyland for the holidays. I've been there for Halloween, but never for the holidays. And I would love to go for the holidays because I think it'd be
I have
really
never
cool.
been there either. I would love to go. I really think we should all take a huge trip out there to Disneyland next year. Let's, Jen, make it happen. You can do this. So,
Sure.
D23, I want to mention some of the stuff happening. Of course, that's happening the weekend of September 10th and 11th, somewhere in there. And pay attention to our socials, guys, because we will be giving you, I'm going to be monitoring the laptop like a fever dream, typing up stuff and tweeting stuff and posting stuff because I love this stuff. I love these presentations. I will be tuning into a lot of the stuff. Some of the things going on here that's happening at D23, they're going to have the inside look at the Society of Explorers and Adventurers at the backlot stage. You're going to have a peek behind the curtain at Walt Disney Imagineering, illusions and special effects. And these are different seminars and different presentations happening. This is going to be cool. Marty Sklar, apparently, I didn't know this until recently. Marty Sklar, apparently, a very legendary name and a legendary Imagineer, was a hoarder. He kept everything from Walt Disney, from Walt Disney World, Disneyland, everything he did. So they're going to have an archives presentation uncovering treasures from the Artist Car collection. There's going to be things in there that we probably never even knew existed that he's going to pull out because, you know, Scholar passed away a few years ago and they went through his stuff and now they're doing some sort of presentation with all his stuff. And
I bet that's going to be
You're probably going to be like, you see this notebook? This is the notebook that Walt Disney started sketching Jungle Book in, in 1961. Something like that. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. They're going to be doing a Disney Parks through the decade kind of thing, and kind of walking through all the decades and stuff. The World of Duffy and Friends. Who cares? They're also, if you're there, which, Jen, you could be there to do this if you had a ticket, you're getting the first access to Disney Me. It's a new personalized digital avatar in the Play Disney Parks app. It will launch as part of the Disney Uncharted Adventure augmented reality experience on the Disney Wish. Now, whether they're going to bring that to the parks or not, I'm sure they will at some point, but not anytime soon. Of course, that's also when they will have the Marvel presentation, which we talked to Michael from the Deucecast last week about Marvel. They're going to be doing more stuff there. And that's probably the one that will end up closing the day. Josh tomorrow will be hosting the Parks and Experiences presentation. That's likely when we're going to find out about when the Tron's going to open. I don't think it's going to be this year. I feel like if it was going to be in October or November, we'd already know. Because something I didn't realize until recently, and then it struck me a couple of days ago. I was like, oh, yeah. Because as we transition out of the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, the company turns 100 next year. Walt Disney World D23, 1923, 2023, 100. Okay. So my guess is going to be that's going to be a new focus entirely across the company.
Yeah, that makes
100
sense.
years, blah, blah, blah. So
because it'll overlap the last 6 months of the 50th.
Yeah. Exactly. So they'll be transitioning, and I'm guessing by January. So a lot of the 50th stuff will kind of be going away slowly but surely. It'll take a few months. I don't think you go in April, you're not going to see a lot of 50th stuff at all. Right. You go in February, I think you'll see maybe half the stuff that's there now. I think the statues obviously will stay, but
oh no, those are going to stay.
But there will be. I think I'm guessing here, but I think we're going to see all sorts of 100 years kind of things happening.
Sure.
I think the opening will be a part of that, but also we're going to get updates on Shanghai Disneyland's Zootopia. We're going to hear about Paris and Frozen Land, and Hong Kong's coming there. I think we're going to get at least one, if not two, of the new names for the new Disney ships, because remember, we were supposed to get 3.
And they got pushed back because of COVID.
Exactly, but we got the Wish. We've already got the Wonder, the Magic, the Fantasy, the Dream, and now the Wish. My guess is we're going to have the Celebration. And,
good guess.
And the Imagine. That's going to be my guess. Is the Celebration and the Imagine.
Okay. All right.
We'll see. I feel like there's a trend here happening with these words.
I can definitely see Celebration be one.
Celebration. I mean, what other words can we use though?
Maybe more like imagination versus like.
I thought about imagination, but it's kind of lengthy though. I mean, like the Disney Imagine or the Disney Imagination.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll have to kind of think about what other things might be, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be words like.
Yeah, it'll be something like that, something celebratory. But also we'll hear more about Disneyland's new Toontown because that's coming. Yes. They're doing the new Toontown with their Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and there's always surprises because if you remember, I think it was in 2016 when they had this, maybe 2015. Nobody really knew what was happening with Star Wars, and towards the end of it, Iger comes down and is like, "Hey guys, guess what? We're going to be building a Star Wars land." More on that later. And people lost their ever-loving minds. Exactly. As we talked about last week, I think we talked about what might be happening for the parks. I think that we'll hear some updates about what's happening maybe with Dino Land or what
might get some updates too with like the construction going on there. So
crossing my fingers that tomorrow's going to come out and say, you know what, guys? Because I love Jen, we've met, we've chatted, we've talked, we're buddies, we're texting pals, we're Facebook friends, whatever. We're bringing back Mary Poppins. We were going to have it. COVID but I'm going to say right now, because of Jen, we're bringing it back. And Jen, I want your team to be the first ones to experience it because of you. That's a guess. I could be wrong.
You know what? We accept.
That's a guess.
We humbly accept. Exactly. I'm just humbly accept.
Yeah. Actually, Josh, since you're listening to this, and I know that you are, let's go ahead and say this. Don't even say we're going to invite the team. Just say they're coming because we accept the invitation. You haven't given yet, but are going to give. We get it. You had to wait, but we know the invitation is coming. We know it's coming. Back over to Disney World, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I say it's beginning to sell out. It is, but of course, it's the typical dates that we're beginning to sell out. That is going to be the first date on August the 16th and the last date, October 31st. Those are the 2 dates that are sold out. Yeah. So make sure you enjoy those. We
all sort of figured out that October 31st
those will come. And I think as we get closer, there will be parties that will not sell out, and there will be parties that will sell out.
Correct.
I think here's what's going to happen. I think people are going to wait to see the feedback from the first few parties and then dive in. And if the word comes back that, oh my gosh, it's better than ever, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah.
It's
back. People are going to dive in on that and be like, I was waiting to know, but now I'm all in. So if you want to spend a little extra money on top of the $150 or $160 or $170 or how much you spend for the ticket, there will be plenty of tricky treats to enjoy at the party because they're going to have the Mickey's Not So Spooky Spectacular Dessert Party. Disney tells us for an even I can't even say it. For an even sweeter evening, you can indulge in a wickedly delicious, not-so-scary, spectacular dessert party at the Tomorrowland Terrace with mouth-watering Halloween-themed concoctions like pumpkin cupcakes and chocolate-covered strawberries and cheesecake mousse and pistachio white chocolate bars. And it's all you care to enjoy, all you can eat, sweets and specialty drinks, and guaranteed viewing for Disney's Not-So-Spooky, Spectacular fireworks, which is great. Today, they just released the pricing for this Halloween party. So if you want to pay extra, it's going to be $99 per adult and $59 per child aged 3 to 9. Of course, we had one agent that was like, I'm going to identify as a 3 to 9-year-old, which she's kind of short, so it probably could work.
I mean, she's kind of short.
This is one of those things where I take that back. Hold on. There's 2 of them. There's the Plaza Garden Viewing, which puts you out in the plaza for $99 and $59. And then there's the Disney Not So Spooky Tomorrowland Terrace party. So there's 2 parties. One's at the terrace, covered tables and chairs. The other's at the plaza, and then like kind of basically that green area where there's no chairs, like a picnic area. There's that. That's the $99 and $69, $59. This is the $115, $69. So you have your choice of the 2 places. August 9th is when the reservations open up. Okay, so this is one of those things where if you want special seating to this, and you're okay with spending the money, then spend the money. This is not a waste of your cash. This is not something that I think that I would do more than likely. I'm fine because I don't like being seated for long periods of time during these parties. I want to move. Yeah. Also, they announced that Cinderella's Royal Table and Be Our Guest will be open for reservations on party nights. So if you want to spend $170 and then also take an hour and a half of your time to spend $100 per person or however much it costs to eat dinner there, do that if you want. But honestly, if a client asks me, should we eat? I always tell clients, eat before you go or eat before the party starts because you just don't want to be sitting there for hour, hour and a half.
There's there's the character meets and there's like the different, there's the parade and the fireworks and the rides of course are open and the trick-or-treating stations and like all the other special things. Like you don't want to, for me, I don't want to be seated eating during that.
Yeah. So. And this is not a slam on Cinderella's or Be Our Guest. I love both restaurants.
Absolutely.
Both are great. Both are worth it.
Absolutely.
But you can't even see fireworks from Be Our Guest. So, it's not something where maybe if we get by the window, no, you can't. The way it's
and even in Cinderella's, you're really not seeing.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be right by the window and that's special.
And even then you're like not really seeing everything.
Honestly though, I'm not going back to Cinderella's Royal Table until they bring all the princesses back. I want the princesses to come back. And this is not a slide on Disney. They're doing whatever they do, but it's just my thing. I'm just not going to go back until they have they have all the princesses back, not just a few of the princesses. And so,
not just Cinderella. I was going to say, what do you mean a few?
Not a few, not the few, the bold, the Cinderella only. Yeah. And finally, Jen, I know that you're building a house up there. By the way, house update. Where are we on the house? How's it looking? Just a quick little brief update. For
we have footers. Our pile of dirt has lots of trenches, and there's like pipes. And there's gravel. Or like in a pile that looks like they're going to do something with the foundation. Like, so that's exciting.
Very nice. Good.
There's still spring of next year. But
so when do we have Ezekiel and Elijah coming over to do the barn raising? Is that like a special celebration planned, or I'm just
it's like a special. It's a special.
Gotcha. 7 Novotnys for 7 brothers. I can see that happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Randomly, if you've never seen 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, the movie is not good except for that first 10-minute dance sequence is spectacular. Have you ever seen that?
I have seen the dance sequence because I used to show.
That's all you really need to see is that dance sequence. The rest of the movie.
I've not seen the rest of it. I have seen the dance sequence. So,
but that dance sequence is just unreal. How good that is. So back to this. Golden Oaks Mansion at Walt Disney World had to reduce their price. It was on sale. Nobody was buying, so finally they reduced it, and there it is. I'm not sure, unconfirmed, as whether this is the house that quasi-producer Heather is purchasing. I'm not sure. It is an 8,000 square foot mansion. $16 million at the original price. They reduced it down to 12, and basically they had a contract on it within a day. It's a 2-story mansion, part of the Four Seasons private residences. You can live basically on property. 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, 2 kitchens, and plenty of Disney-inspired touches with 4 bedroom suites, the Dream Suite, the Castle Suite, the Four Seasons Suite, and Mickey's Suite within the house.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. That's a lot of house. I don't know.
There it is.
I mean, 9 bathrooms might be too much for you. I know you could take over 3 bathrooms comfortably. You might have trouble with 4, but that would give Brady half a bathroom after all your stuff. So, which is probably a good thing. Probably a good thing. So that's all of our news that we've got. All of our news. I mean, my gosh, there's a ton of it here. But let's look now at one of our resorts. This is kind of our ongoing series that's going to take forever to get all the way through because there are like 30 resorts. I want to talk a little bit about Coronado Springs. Now, let me give you some background on Coronado Springs. This actually celebrated its 25th anniversary this week. Opened on August 1st, 1997. It's located in the Animal Kingdom Resort area, and That doesn't mean it's right beside Animal Kingdom. That just
because
means
it's not. It's
closer to Animal Kingdom than a lot of other resorts, so it's considered Animal Kingdom resort area. But it's got a theme of American colonial Spanish and Southwestern American. It's a moderate resort, but it has a convention center as well. It's the only moderate level resort with Disney suites. There's a cafeteria-style restaurant, a dinner, a formal dining restaurant, the Maya Grill. You got gift shops and arcades and blah 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 blah. Owned by Disney, by the way. So
also Toledo Steakhouse.
Which one?
Toledo Steakhouse.
Oh, that's right, because I haven't been there yet. So it's kind of funny because some of the sites I'm looking at doesn't even have that on there. So
Toledo, newer one though.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Is it Toledo? Because I always say Toledo because I think the city in Ohio is Toledo. it's probably better than just Toledo. Currently 1,951 rooms at Coronado Springs and located in 4 sections across the property, with Grand Casino Tower being the main building. That's like the big building, the big skyrise that's there, with rooms on the 3rd through 15th floors. The Casitas have 5 buildings. The Ranchos have 4 buildings. They're Pueblo-style buildings. The Cabanas have 3 buildings with like 2 floors and stuff. Everything was renovated in 2018 with new beds, new flat screen TVs, new furnishings, and kind of all the new linens and all the good stuff like that. One of the things that people love about this is the pyramid dig site pool.
Yes.
The lost city of Cibola dig site pool. It's a huge pool. Got a sand volleyball court there. It's got the largest outdoor hot tub on property. 20,000 square foot explorers playground, an arcade that's there, and there's a 46-foot, 5-story tall Mayan pyramid themed water slide. At the beginning of the day, the Mayan pyramid is turned on, and a huge stream of water flows down the steps. And the kids can actually be there as part of the opening. They can see the water come down and everything. They renovated this in 2018, so it's about 4 years old now. Don't climb those steps. We've seen people do that. Don't do that. That's bad. That's bad.
Don't do that.
Don't climb the steps. Convention center, largest convention center on Walt Disney World property. Now, Contemporary has a convention center, and Yacht and Beach Club have one, or Boardwalk
Yacht
has
and
one?
Yacht and Beach Club has one. Yes, correct. Boardwalk does not have one because Yacht and Beach Club has it. Grand Floridian has one.
That's what I was thinking. So,
Coronado Springs.
So there's 3 located on property. This is the biggest.
Oh, and the Contemporary.
Contemporary, that's right. Yeah, Contemporary.
And Grand Floridian. So Contemporary and Grand Floridian.
Oh, Grand Floridian. Okay, I missed that. So Contemporary, Grand Floridian, Yacht Beach Club, and Coronado Springs. Gotcha.
Correct.
So Coronado's Convention Center includes a 60,214 square foot Coronado Ballroom, the largest ballroom in the southeastern United States.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Also a Fiesta Ballroom. It's about 86,000 square foot. The Veracruz Exhibition Hall with 1,500 square foot of pre-function space. I know they're getting into the weeds here, but just kind of giving a little bit overview of it. This is the kind of place where you go and you price out Coronado and you see your standard rooms, your water view rooms, your Grand Casino, and then you'll see a whole lot of casitas and like suites, 2-bedroom suites. I mean, this moderate room will have rooms that are $1,000 a night because they're big rooms for multiple people and big conventions and things like that. Yeah. So very cool. Now, you have stayed at the Coronado Springs Grand Casino Tower recently. So
yes,
let's talk a little bit about experiences because I was there last year. So tell me a little bit about your thoughts.
Yeah.
Casino Tower.
So Grand Casino Tower, and I have to say, as a whole, I consider Coronado Springs like a moderate plus. It's like. There's all the moderates. Yeah, it's more moderate than deluxe, but it's also like more deluxe than the other moderates. So I really love Coronado Springs. It is my favorite moderate.
Nice.
And Grand Casino Tower, especially that 1,000%, it really felt deluxe to me.
Right.
For the most part. I mean, a couple things I'm like, okay, well, that's more moderate. But for the most part, just like the spaciousness, number one. Also, because it was a new build in 2018. Yes, 2018. Yep. And I just had to remember that. It's got with the technology with the elevators going up and down. 2019. I'm sorry, you're right. It was 2019. Yep. And man, it just so beautiful. With all of the dining, it's so convenient to get to all of the resources of Coronado. And, just up front, one of the complaints, if people have it, is just the size, because it's a big resort. It is a big resort. Whenever they did those renovations, they added a bridge to like kind of connect the back to the front. So that does help a lot. There is still walking though to get to the main building and to Casino Tower and to the, convention center or like whole front area. That just, it is what it is. But it's so beautiful. Like I said, it was like the hard floors. It was like all the new linens, the flat screen TVs, like the technology. And the bathrooms were lovely. So really loved Grandestino Tower. Really loved it. So like if I'm not saying deluxe, I would.
It's one that I feel like you could take that tower, and if you themed it correctly, like pluck it over in the middle of Old Key West or Saratoga Springs, and suddenly you've got like a deluxe and not have to change much about it. It's a really beautiful tower. I've stayed in both the regular rooms, which and I've stayed in the regular rooms too. They're really great. They are. They're spacious too. My favorite of the moderates, of course, is going to be French Quarter. I like the theming, and I also like how small it is because I'm a big fan of small resorts. I can get to one side to the other. Basically, one of my pros or cons on a resort is how fast can I get to the lobby, to the gift shop, to the bus stop, to the front desk, to the concierge. How fast can I get to the lobby? Coronado Springs and Caribbean Beach are both massive. Caribbean being the largest one on property. Coronado just under that. So if you're staying in a stated room across property, I mean, you either have to hike it or take it into a resort bus to get to the front desk. But either way, you've got several minutes. You know, if you're like, it's 7 a.m, we're leaving here at 8 to catch the bus, to go to Magic Kingdom. Actually, I don't know why you'd leave that late. But anyway, hey, I'm going to go get a pastry. If I'm at French Quarter, I'm at the food court. I'm back. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm done. At Coronado, I may not get there and back until 45 minutes because it's such a long hike. So it is a very large resort.
And there are, like forgetting your luggage to the room, etc. Because our room was ready when we checked in most recently. And we were in a standard room this last time. So there are golf carts, but limited golf carts, multiple people checking in. You might have to wait on that part. Or of course you can walk it. And one time we walked it, one time we had the golf cart. I mean,
Right. Well, and honestly, like the American Southwest is not necessarily my favorite kind of theme. Like I don't look at that. I'm like, oh, I love this whole Southwesty Tex-Mex kind of theme. This works though. I think it looks great.
It really does.
Because you do have the casitas, which are more of like the residential areas of cities found all over Mexico. It's more elegant and more sophisticated. You get the ranchos, which are like ranch houses of the Southwest. Yeah. And the cabanas are like a small like fishing village. I love the cabanas. I love the look of the cabanas, and of course the tower, which draws inspiration from the Salvador Dali Disney animated film Destino. It pulls from that whole Dali kind of thing. Love the Destino Towers. Now, also I love the food court area that they have. It's a great food court area. They do have the cafeteria style where you go in, order your food, sit down. They have a couple of sit down restaurants as well. They have Rick's Bar and Grill, which is there, which is really nice. Their gift shop I think is great. Their lobby is beautiful. The only, like you said, the size is one thing. Also, the transportation options are not great. If you're staying at the Port Orleans, you have an option to catch a boat to Disney Springs at least, even if you're catching buses to everywhere else. Caribbean Beach, you got your buses and your Skyliner to some of the parks. Coronado Springs, either you're driving, you're Ubering, or you're taking the bus. And sometimes the buses aren't that great. We've been there before when the bus system just failed us altogether.
But what I do like is that because of the parking lots being scattered around, you just walk out of your building and the Uber / Lyft driver / minivan can come right there to your building.
Yes.
If you're willing to, and we were just there for a short time. We're like, not busing it. So
the only other negative, and when you go to the rooms, and I'm going to speak first about the Grand Destino room, it's got the 2 queen beds. We were on the 7th floor, 8th floor, which gave a great view. And it's like everything has a good view because you're looking out above property, which is just fantastic.
So pretty.
Nighttime, it's beautiful. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
The rooms were comfortable. The bed were comfortable. Everything was really, really comfortable. They've got the new style rooms with all the USB ports and the plugs. And me, I've got like 6 chargers to plug in. I got to plug my computer in because Jen won't let me stop working. So I got to plug that in and just constant stream of plugging things in. The only downside to what I found for families, now I cannot speak to every single room, but we were going to go last year and stay at the Grand Destino Tower with our entire family. I think we talked about this trip that we have the whole family going. Well, my brother and sister-in-law have 3 small children. They need a bathtub. A lot of these rooms don't have bathtubs. Correct. They have the stand-up showers. And I found the bathrooms to be beautiful, except they weren't really as functional as I'd like them to be because, let's just say it, if you're not comfortable with seeing whoever you're with unclothed, only one person can use the bathroom at a time. You have sinks in the middle. True. Toilets on one side, shower on the other, and it's an entire glass wall of shower. So whoever's in that shower, if you're at the sink brushing your teeth, whoever's in that shower, you're getting a full show there. So it's like, not that you're going to be creepy and stare at somebody in the shower, but still, it's there. And same thing with the children. If you need a bathtub to bathe your small children in, you may want to stay at one of the regular Coronado Springs
because
rooms
those are going to have
bathtubs.
More likely to have bathtubs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not something you think about until you realize, oh, I need this.
I am going to posit this with the toilet situation.
Yes.
I mean, in a regular Coronado room, the toilet's in the same room as the bathtub anyway.
Well, that's true. That's true. But the sink is separated. So, but it would be different.
Sink, though, you are correct. The sink
and I
is
feel
separated.
as if it was something where there was like the glass was either opaque and darker, or kind of blurred out or whatever, or there was a curtain you could pull across the shower. That'd be one thing. But just one solid wall of glass.
Yeah.
I mean,
for us, it wouldn't be like. I mean, there's a nice long desk area. Yeah. So like if you just need like put on your makeup or whatever, there is a space there if you have a mirror. So
yeah, exactly.
But it's doable. But if that's something that concerns you, definitely like the other rooms or your preferred room, the preferred buildings are going to be a little bit closer to the main building. It's not going to be as close, but it's still more closer.
And I actually had the rooms wrong because it is it's 2385. That's how many guest rooms there are, because I wasn't including the 500 and something with the Casino Tower. So it's a pretty big room.
A large resort.
Yeah. You got your standard rooms and your king rooms, your water views, your junior suites with sleep 6, and this is when you're getting in more convention rooms, your junior suite king, your casitas bedrooms, your executive suites, and those are the ones that are more expensive. The preferred rooms are the ones closer to the front. I am a huge fan of preferred rooms because, again, I want to be able to get my cheese Danish from the lobby. I want to pay $6 for my cheese Danish early in the morning so I can get over there. Don't make me walk all the way over. Tons of lounges, the Barcelona Lounge, the Dahlia Lounge, of course, the Maya Grill. Now, I've never eaten at the Maya Grill, but I've heard it's really good.
I've heard it's really good. That's one of the very few on property I haven't eaten at. So, yeah.
When I used to work at the Disney store, and this is in 2008, we had an elder gentleman there named Joe, and he worked the front. He would always greet people. He'd talk like this. He loved Disney. He served in the service, and this is kind of his retiree job. And he and his wife, they're all their kids are obviously out of the house. And, me and my wife, we just look online, and we found a cruise that's leaving Thursday. And this is like Tuesday. Leaving Thursday. We're going on a cruise for 3 nights. We're flying down tomorrow. I mean, this is retirement for him. He's great. And he pulled me aside. You're going to Disney? Where are you staying? We're staying over wherever, blah, blah, blah. Have you been to Coronado Springs? Not yet. I have not been there. This is, again, 2008, before I was really a travel planner. And so he would tell me, go to Coronado, eat at Maya Grill. People don't know about Maya Grill, but it's so good. Get the steak. The steak is just fantastic. It's a hidden gem. Nobody goes over there. You can just walk right on up. Nobody's in there because nobody knows about it, but it's a hit. We stay there every time we can at Coronado just to eat at the Maya Grill. I will come back and he'll go, Joe, go to Coronado to eat at Maya. No, Joe, we didn't have time to. I got to tell you, you're making a mistake. Next time you go, when are you going again? December? I'm gonna remind you, Maya Grill. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I haven't seen Joe since 2010 when the store closed, so I'm hoping he's still alive. Hats off to you, Joe. I'm gonna go to Maya, and when I do that first bite of steak, it's gonna be for you, Joe. It's gonna be for you. So, anything extra to throw in there about Coronado? Any ideas? Any thoughts? Good, bad?
Wow. No, I mean, I just really think it is. It also does have some club level options in Casino Tower. If those have reopened. Not all the club levels have reopened yet, but I just think it is a really solid option, especially if you are someone like me who loves Stay Deluxe, but maybe for whatever reason, you know what, we want to do a lower budget, or we're not really, I don't know, for whatever reason you wanting to save a little bit. It's a fabulous option.
It really is.
Coronado, stay there. Like, it's good. It's Jenn approved. What more do you need to know?
There you go. I think it's good for families. I think it's great for families.
Yeah.
Because of that pool. Because
that pool
area,
is beautiful.
You've also got the sandbox area they can play in. There's a whole like Maya playground right next to the pool. So there's really all kinds of fun amenities and games and stuff. They do movies by the pool side.
Absolutely.
They have chalk art. There's like I said, the dig site. There's tons of stuff going on there for kids. It's just it's a very fun and festive. It is one of those
room size
is great because you have the 2 queen beds and either the pull down or fifth sleeper or whatever. So you've got that.
It feels bigger than the other moderates.
Honestly, though, and if you're somebody. There are families who are like, they'll just eat wherever they can eat. That's fine. There are other families that are like, we would like a microwave, or we would like something. It's not going to have a microwave. It'll have a mini fridge. Right. Spring for the preferred room if you can. If you're not going to stay at a casino and you have small children, you want that bathtub, stay in a regular room, but pay the extra couple $100 for the preferred.
For the preferred.
You're in the casitas, and the casitas are my favorite because they have that tropical feel to them. Also, you're going to be closer to the front and just... like for us, and it's not so much now with our kid, but as
Mhm.
our kid grew up with a special diet, getting that microwave in that food court was essential because we had to heat his eggs, we had to heat his breakfast in the morning, or cook some dinner for him, or
Yeah.
whatever. So having that proximity to the front
Yeah.
is really, really important. So yeah, if you're okay, if you're older couples, I think the Grand Destino Tower is perfect.
Yeah.
It's got a romantic aspect to it that
It
I think
does.
you could probably get if you stay at Grand Floridian at Contemporary, but if you don't want to spend that much, stay at
It's a
Disney
great
Tower.
option. I've put honeymooners there too.
Oh, yeah,
like,
me too.
They want to
Me
do
too.
Disney honeymoon,
Yep.
but they don't.
Yep.
What young? You're just getting married.
Yep.
You don't have the budget for the grand. I get it. That's fine. Like, it's a great option, and it's not like, okay, like if you're going to Pop, you're going to All Stars, you're going to Art of Animation, you are going to have a lot more children because it is they are very
Right.
children friendly.
Right.
Not, I mean, all of Disney is children friendly, but you know what I mean? There's, I mean, it's very, for kids, it's very bright and colorful,
Yes.
and you
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
characters, and it's like, larger than life. Whereas Destino Tower and, Coronado in general, it's a little more,
Right.
hilly,
Right.
chill vibe.
There are laundry facilities there,
Yeah.
so you do have laundry services if you need to, and of course there are childcare services. They're not operated by Disney, but Disney kind of partners with them, so you can contact your travel agent about getting childcare if you need childcare for the evening while you go to Toledo or whatever it's called. Toledo. I say Toledo. Toledo. By the way, did you know the name of the lake that's there at Coronado Springs? Like
I do, and I can't think of it right now.
I knew
because
it
I was
had
just
a
there.
name to it, but I never knew the name of it until recently. And that name is Lago Dorado. It's a man-made 14-acre lake, which, as you mentioned before, kind of sat right in the middle of the resort, which means if you're here and you need to be over there, you got to walk all the way around that lake.
Yep.
However, right now there's a restaurant sitting right in the middle of the lake. You can walk straight across on there, which is really, really fun.
It's really cool.
It's a really cool little walk there. Whenever I'm playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, when I used to play it, I used to love putting walkways across the water with a ride in the middle. This is a restaurant right in the middle, and it just looks cool. So
I have eaten there. Gosh, it was during a fam, and we ate at Three Bridges regardless.
Was it good? I know our friend Meredith said she ate there and said it was
hit and miss for her.
Yeah, that's what it was hit and miss for her.
What I had was very good, but again, she said she liked some of her dishes and some she didn't. So it's probably just more like what you prefer there,
exactly,
and what you like. So
exactly. So there is your take on Coronado Springs. Hope you enjoyed that little run around the resort there as we sort of slowly but surely work our way around the resorts, and we'll grab another one in a few weeks and talk about another resort. But until then, Jen, Costa Rica coming up in 3 weeks?
Yes, 3 weeks.
It's crazy how it's August already.
I know, it's
August.
Insane.
I've got a birthday in a week, which is insane.
Crazy.
I mean, it's like we got trips coming up in October. The whole group's coming down in December, and all of a sudden the marathon's gonna be here in February, and then we're all a year older, and it's ridiculous. And so, and then Toronto opens up, and it's like, what do we have? We have nothing else to live for because everything's open. What do we do? I don't know. So, Jen, where can they find you for Costa Rica? Where can we follow you along? Follow along on the socials.
At Upon a Star Travel would be, the overall agency page, which I will be sending stuff to our social media team to, get posted. I will also post on Upon a Star Jen, and then my personal at Jen_Novotny as well. So you can follow all of those great locations.
Yes. Make sure you're following Upon a Star Travel on Instagram because there's a lot of fun stuff going up there. Meredith is in charge of that, and she's really been rocking it there. Same thing with TikTok. Follow us on TikTok as well. And of course the Facebook pages, but I would really steer you towards Instagram and TikTok because those are just some fun videos and fun pictures that are going up all the time. She's constantly got a stream of stuff going up there.
Yeah.
Of course, find me at the Magic $100 on Instagram. I'm so close to 700 followers. Just follow me. Just follow me. Don't make me beg. Find me on Facebook at Magic on $1 and Disney on $1 as well. And of course, you can find us at the MSE Podcast on all the socials, on Instagram, on Facebook. We should get Meredith on our Instagram as well. So let her do some magic on that because we're just it's on Twitter as well. But of course, the MSEpodcast.com is our website, and of course at gmail.com. That is our email address. We would love to hear from you. Love to hear what you like, what you don't like, that kind of thing. And so that's our show. Now, to close up, I want to leave it on a kind of a melancholy note here because we lost a Disney legend, the voice of Ursula.
Yeah.
Pat Carroll passed away at the ripe old age of, I believe, 91, I believe.
Yeah.
Just just crazy the career she had, which has spanned like 50 years, because everybody knows her from Ursula, but she was on the Danny Thomas Show, Laverne and Shirley, ER. She's an Emmy winner. She's a Grammy winner. She's a Tony nominee. She's won drama awards. She started her career in 1952 with the Red Buttons Show, which is crazy. She was all the way up to everything from the movie Bustin' Loose to Too Close for Comfort to she was on Garfield cartoons as John's feisty grandmother. She was in a couple of Disney movies as well, besides The Little Mermaid. Of course, that was her big breakout with Little Mermaid when it comes to Disney and how they knew her. Just a great voice. Just a great person. Just she seemed like she was so much fun.
She really did. She really did.
Just how much fun she seemed to be. In interviews I had, she just seemed like she was so happy with life and happy to be a part of the Disney community, and people love her. People loved her. So
yeah, they really did.
To all of that, we say thank you very much, Pat Carroll, for the legacy you left us, for everything you gave us, for the gift of Ursula and Ursula's voice, which is amazing. One of the legendary icons of Disney overall. So thank you, Pat Carroll. Rest in peace. And that is our show, Jen. Thank you so much. And hey, don't forget to thank your Phoenicians and give a nod to Pat Carroll.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.